President William Ruto's memorandum to Parliament with proposals to make far-reaching changes to the country's supreme law is a major departure from his pre-election stand and the fierce opposition he mounted against the Building Bridges Initiative, or BBI. His proposals on establishment of the Office of Official Leader of Opposition, entrenching in the Constitution funds, and resolving the two-thirds gender equity principle mirror some of the proposals contained in the BBI-driven Constitution Amendment Bill that hit a dead end with a hat trick of losses at the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and eventually the Supreme Court. Seth Olale with more.
So help me God.
Tumpongeze tena kwa makofi. On 13th September, President William Ruto assumed office as the country's fifth head of state after a grueling contest at the ballot on 9th August this year. Ruto riding to power after successfully opposing the clamor for constitutional amendments fronted by then President Uhuru Kenyatta and his handshake partner Raila Odinga through the Building Bridges Initiative, BBI. His campaign message centering on the bottom-up economic model and criticism of proposed constitutional amendments.
People sitting in offices and in boardrooms and in big hotels who think that they can change the constitution to the exclusion of the ordinary people in Kenya must learn from the Punguza Mzigo initiative that it is no longer possible in the Kenya of the 21st century. Any change of whatever nature to the constitution must start with the people.
87 days into office, the president has penned a memorandum to speakers of the bicameral parliament proposing a draft of far-reaching constitutional amendments, ostensibly to calibrate the balance of constitutional powers, deepen good governance, enhance inclusion in the democratic space, strengthen parliamentary oversight of the executive, and promote the responsiveness of elected leaders to aspirations of the electorate. In the proposed constitutional changes, he wants Parliament to spearhead after Supreme Court ruled that the President cannot initiate changes to the Constitution. Include establishment of an Office of the Official Leader of Opposition, creating a formula of nominating extra members of Parliament to bridge the deficit in realization of the two-thirds gender principle, entrenching in the Constitution legislators' funds at the constituency and Senate level, as well as the National Government Affirmative Action Fund to be managed by women representatives, and allowing cabinet secretaries and chief administrative secretaries to participate in parliamentary proceedings to respond to questions posed by MPs.
Kabidhiwa Mheshimiwa Rais, tumpongeze anapoipokea.
They mirror some of the proposals contained in the Building Bridges Initiative Constitutional Amendment Bill. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta, while addressing the nation on Jamhuri Day last year, bemoaned the collapse of BBI, but termed it a dream deferred.
And although it encountered some legal obstacles, I say again today that BBI is just a dream deferred. One day, someday, it will happen. Because just as the country cannot survive ethnic majoritarianism and exclusion, just in the same breath, it cannot survive unfair and skewed representation.
The BBI Constitutional Amendment Bill proposed establishment of the Office of the Leader of the Opposition, who will be the runner-up in the presidential election. Tumpongeze kwa makofi anapopokezwa katiba ya Jamhuri ya Kenya. Though the president insists that his constitutional clarion call will not require a referendum, any changes to the constitution through the parliamentary route would require the support of at least 233 out of the 349 members in the National Assembly. Seth Olale, Citizen TV, Nairobi.